Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Daily Caller written by Jake Dima. Now, this was published on November 19th. All right, look at the title here. Police Department stops accepting firearms permit applications due to COVID-19, due to the beer virus. This is the thing. The Second Amendment does not get suspended because of the coronavirus. See, this is Massachusetts. Don't expect anything different. They're going to find any reason to screw over people who are trying to jump through the hoops there. All right. I've seen some really shady shit go on over the years in regards to Massachusetts. I know someone who used to live there. Okay. A friend of mine. He ordered his pistol according to the acceptable firearm handbook, because they actually have like a book, okay, that you go through. These are acceptable models that have been tested. Massachusetts says they're legal, because this is how demented they are. They actually have a book where they list guns by like their model numbers and stuff like that have been tested, that are accepted. And as tested, this is how asinine it is. If, say, the grips, you changed the grips on that gun and you purchased it, it was a legal gun. Now the gun's illegal. Grips change the legality of the gun. And on that note of the grip situation, my friend purchases a pistol. Okay. It's on the accepted list. The model number's there. Everything. Okay. He orders it. Now he has an FFL. He gets it sent to him. He then notices the grips on it are not the same grips for what would be quote unquote legal. Now he looked at his package and also noticed that it may have been opened. He's like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. They knew that the grips weren't legal. What he had done is he called around. He managed to find in New Hampshire a gun store that had a set of the grips that would be what came with it on the note of being an acceptable firearm in Massachusetts. So the day he got it in, he goes, he gets those grips, he puts them on. He gives a mutual friend of ours the other set of grips. Says, hold on to these for me because I got a bad feeling. Sure enough, the Massachusetts equivalent to the ATF, state police, local police, they all show up at his door with a warrant looking for this gun. And let's just say they were not happy campers when they came in, found it, and it had the legal grips on it. They were looking to use it to basically charge him with a felony and remove his inalienable right to bear arms. They knew the grips were different. They knew that they were from the manufacturer different. If he hadn't have seen that shady shit was going on there, he would have been screwed. This is Massachusetts we're talking about. This is the type of stuff that they do. You don't think that they're going to say, because of the coof, we can't process applications? I mean, Nantucket's a kind of a wealthy area, too. I mean, you got a lot of townies, but you got a lot of wealthy people who own, mansions and very expensive homes on the island of Nantucket. Anyway, let's get into the article here. Nantucket Police Department in Massachusetts announced Wednesday that its officers would indefinitely halt new weapons permit applications due to heightened risk of coronavirus spread. Now, this is funny. They're out patrolling, they're out doing everything else, but they can't do this. They can't have someone wearing a mask and them wearing a mask and quickly fingerprint them. Go figure. The department initially announced the decision on Twitter, writing that all fingerprint services were to be suspended, but the post was removed shortly after. Yes, because I'm sure of the backlash. The law enforcement body said the reason for its decision was that the employees who fielded the applications expressed concern that they could not safely do their jobs according to a press release. Okay, so you basically probably have anti-gun people doing this, okay? And you've got people that are like, well, I can't do my job now. I want to go home and pay, so you didn't have you pay me. Because this stinks. This really stinks. Our permit office will not be doing firearms permit applications, fingerprints, or photos until further notice due to COVID-19. That's not how it works. Massachusetts issues both licenses to carry and firearms identification cards according to a state website. Unlike most states with issue-only concealed weapons licenses, residents in the Commonwealth need an FID permit to purchase firearms of any kind, meaning Nantucket PD's refusal to accept applications could effectively prohibit someone from first-time gun ownership entirely. Yes, exactly. That's part of the whole plan. You don't think that an anti-gun state is not going to have, with local police departments that are anti-gun, you don't think that they're going to use this as an excuse? Of course they are. Effective Wednesday, November 18, 2020, the Nantucket Police Department has suspended accepting any applications for permits or licenses that require a fingerprint-based criminal records check, the department wrote. Included in the suspension are firearms-related permits such as LTC permits and FID cards. Yeah, well, I hope someone fights this and it goes to the Supreme Court, because I would love to see Massachusetts gun laws shown for their unconstitutionality. I would love for that to happen. All right, because Massachusetts is infamous for this. What they'll do is there's a federal law that says that you have a right to carry your firearms from point A to point B across state lines. Okay, so like a good example, you have a lot of snowbirds from New Hampshire. Now, you have Florida and New Hampshire being reciprocity states. Now, even though New Hampshire's, a constitutional carry state, and you no longer need, a concealed carry license. Even though you no longer need that, okay, and you can carry constitutionally concealed, people still get them here because of the reciprocity. Because if I, with a concealed weapons, a concealed carry license, say I go to Arizona honors my New Hampshire concealed carry. Florida honors my concealed carry. A bunch of states honor it. Okay, so you have, say, snowbirds. They have a New Hampshire concealed carry, and it's reciprocity. So they could be, got their concealed carry in Florida and then come back up here, and it would be honored in New Hampshire. But the point being, you have the right, okay, under federal law to travel from, say, New Hampshire to Florida, or any state, actually. You don't necessarily have to have a reciprocity thing going on. But you're allowed to travel with your firearms. Now, what Massachusetts will do is they will go after you. They'll say you stop them. They stop you, I mean. What they'll do is they'll take that situation and they'll try to charge you with a bunch of felonies for illegally possessing and transporting firearms. And they hope that you're stupid. And they try to ruin your life, try to make you a convicted felon, try to do all these things. And they try to basically say that the federal law doesn't apply. They do really shady stuff, and you got to get yourself a good attorney that knows the law, that deals with, firearms law, because of how they do this. And you end up winning in the end. But they prey on bad attorneys, and they prey on ignorant firearms owners. So if they'll do that, if they'll do all this different shady stuff, of course they're going to go and try to find a way to stop someone from being able to purchase a firearm legally there. They try to stop people from legally transporting them, even though federal law says they can. This is Massachusetts we're talking about. My friend, with what he went through, that's Massachusetts what we're talking about here. This should not be unexpected. You know what gets me is people go, Massachusetts follows suit of California. Okay. They're just a couple years behind. Like California does it, and then Massachusetts, rolls it out on the East Coast. That's not how it works. There are plenty of instances where Massachusetts is telling California, hey, hold my beer. They're way stricter on firearms than California is in a lot of cases. But it's supposedly California that's, starts shit, and then Massachusetts brings in it on the East Coast and spreads it across the country. No, this is a hold your beer moment with a lot of Massachusetts stuff with firearms. It's seriously. This action was taken after employees responsible for obtaining these fingerprints expressed their concern that they could not safely do their jobs with the workplace safety procedures that we have in place. Because of the process involved in obtaining these permits, it is impossible to do while following state guidelines for social distancing in the workplace. Bullshit. Okay, if these people are police officers that are doing this, they're arresting people. They're going closer than 6 feet. They can't give someone a fingerprint test. Why did I say test? But they can't take a person's fingerprints? Come on now. Seriously? The department wrote that it made a similar move to halt permit applications during the beginning of the pandemic, but resumed in July when they made adequate workplace safety procedures. No, they resumed in July. Okay, this happened throughout Massachusetts, and the reason why they resumed is because you had all these legal cases being brought against them, and they went, oh shit, we need to turn this and make it moot. let's start taking permits again. Let's start processing permits again, because they knew that if these court cases ended up going beyond, say, the state and on a federal level, okay, they could have been appealed to the Supreme Court, and then they would have been screwed. So they reopened up their permit procedures. Come on, Daily Caller. Do a little friggin' research. Seriously. We suspended accepting such applications earlier in this year when this pandemic first started and non-essential personnel were required to work from home, Nantucket PD wrote. Bullshit. There were all these cases across Massachusetts being brought because you tried to play shady with this. This is the same stuff. You figure it's down the road. People are distracted with other things like the fact of the steel and everything else, and you're going to get away with this. We resumed accepting these permits on July 14th after implementing what we believed to be adequate workplace safety procedures. However, at the time, the island was not experiencing many, if any, cases of COVID. That has changed, and after listening to our employees, we agree that their concerns are potentially valid. You just see it as an excuse. You just see it as an excuse to do your anti-gun crap. It's typical Massachusetts. Come on, Daily Caller. Call this stuff out. Philadelphia police suspended firearms applications in March and were subsequently sued by the Gun Owners of America, a Second Amendment organization, and a number of city residents over the ensuing backlog of requests, according to a press release. Yeah. Lieutenant Angus McVicker of the Nantucket Police Department did not immediately respond to questions from the Daily Caller News Foundation. See, this is the thing. They're not even calling this out. All right, Liberty Doll on YouTube. I really like her content. She does good videos. She's talked about this. They've had lawsuits brought against them, and they went, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. They didn't want them, going to court, because even though they might lose in Massachusetts, it'll get upped, and then it'll get to the federal level, and then it could go to the Supreme Court. And they did not want to have their gun laws brought under scrutiny by the Supreme Court, because they feared a Heller versus DC type situation. I mean, you got Nantucket. It's this time of year, okay? You've got the townies pretty much there. That's it. There's not a large risk of COVID. There's not a large risk of the beer virus. So how about you don't use that as an excuse, because in July you were doing this when you had all these people there that weren't from the area. Explain that one, how it wasn't a risk in July when you had people that were there, from, different parts of the country even, because they've got nice, expensive homes out on Nantucket Island. Please explain that one. It wasn't a problem there in July when you had all these people, but now all of a sudden it is when you've only got the townies there. Go figure. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.